everybody. I'm Kevin Dirth, the Superintendent of Schools for our new Maple Run Unified School District, what used to be Franklin Central School District. And I'd like to introduce my guest for the day, Martha Gagne. Martha is our business manager for our new school district. Today I want to talk to you a little bit and give you some information on an upcoming vote that we're having on the possible acquisition of the building that the central office is in at 28 Catherine Street. And I want to give you some information because we have a vote for the purchase of that on Tuesday, November 14th. So hopefully after we're done today, you'll have a better idea of why we're looking to purchase. I'd start out by saying that we've always had the building. We've had it for many years, and Martha will talk more about that. However, we've never been able to purchase it. It's one nice thing about turning into a school district, a merged school district, because the state doesn't allow property to be had by a supervisory union, but school districts can purchase property. And in this case, we've got a wonderful deal that we have in place that will save some money, and so we're really looking forward to do that. So the agenda, you'll see today, we'll talk a little bit about the history, the property, a report that we had for structural engineering and appraisal, purchase price of the property, the reasons we want to buy it, because it's quite a deal, the warning that we have in place, informational meeting which takes place next week, and information on the polling places and times. So I'm going to put it to Martha, who's been here longer than I have, to talk a little bit about the history of that building. So Martha, what could you tell us about it?
So the supervisory union moved to the location on 28 Catherine Street back in 1995. We came from an office space above what used to be CVPS on Kingman Street, which was a second floor office space. And from then we occupied a space of 1,700 square feet at that location. And over the years, as we have centralized services, we have needed to grow in our space needs, and the property has been beneficial to us in that area, whereas other tenants left that property, we were able to take over those spaces. So over the years, we grew from 1,700 square feet, and then in 2002, we expanded by another 1,000 square feet with a couple more expansions, and where we are today, we are now in a space which occupies 8,660 square feet, which also includes an office space for the early childhood program at the time.
And then the property itself, can you explain a little bit about what it encompasses?
Sure. The property is a half-acre property. It's a one-story wood frame building, and as I said, it's 8,600 square feet. It's an office building. It's zoned for business. We have in that space, including the early childhood program space, we have 25 offices and or workstations for our 27 plus staff members. There are 2 small kitchenettes, there's 6 bathrooms, 1 large boardroom conference room that we recently renovated, I believe 2 summers ago.
Which is a wonderful room.
It's a beautiful room. A small conference room, actually 2 small conference rooms if we take into account the space over at the early childhood program space. A small meeting room, a very large storage area in the back of the office spaces, a small storage area over in the early childhood program area, and a detached garage that can also and will be used for storage as well.
Good. So when we started looking into this, the landlord, who we've had for quite a few years.
Since 1995.
When he made this offer to us, obviously the first things you're going to want to do when you're buying property is to make sure it's in good condition. So we went out and got an appraisal for the property, as well as we wanted to check on its structural integrity. So we had Cross Engineering come in and do a report. That report is on our website, which is
MapleRun.org.
maplerun.org. So you can see it there. It was a very positive report. As you see, we state that the building structure, or they state that the building structure is in good condition. It's performing well. The district can continue to use the building as it is now. It can expand into what used to be the Comcast space. You may or may not know that Comcast owned the end of that building, and as of July 1st of this year, left, and that's when we brought in our early childhood program, where we were renting in another space and brought them into that space. The attic areas are fine and continue to be used. They did find that the existing roof structure is performing well. However, by today's standards, they say it's not completely up to code. And that would mean that if we were ever to do any major restructuring, we'd have to bring the roof up to code. We have no intent of bringing any major restructuring. We've done minor restructuring up to this point in all of the spaces as we added some space. So we're feeling pretty comfortable with that. And all floor, concrete slabs, etc., are fine. So we felt very, very confident about the building itself, and that it can go on for many years. We also did an appraisal report, which Martha will talk about a little bit.
Sure. We contracted with a company called Martin Appraisal Services out of, I believe it was Milton area or Essex area. And they came in and they did basically the same as the structural engineer. They walked through the building and they took lots of pictures, and they did their appraisal. They did it, there are a couple of ways that you can appraise a building. One of the ways to indicate the value is by sales comparison approach, and there is also the value by income approach. Martin Appraisal actually came out with their final opinion based on the sales comparison approach, that the market value of the building as is $500,000. So that's the value of the building prior to our purchase of it.
Okay. So the purchase price is $415,000. So the terms are very good in our estimation. There's no down payment, and it's zero interest. And what will happen is we're presently paying $4,150 rent to our landlord for the property, most of the property. In addition, we're paying $1,350 for the Comcast part of the property, where we're bringing in our early childhood. The terms of the deal is that we can take that $4,150 that we're presently paying for 2/3 of the property, and when we purchase the property, that $4,150 payment will be payments towards the equity of the property. So in other words, we would pay $4,150 for 100 months, and at that point, the property would be ours. We're feeling pretty good about that, and the fact that in some ways, it's the minute we purchase the property, we have $85,000 in equity. And then all of our payments are going towards equity and no longer having to pay rental payments. In addition, obviously in 8+ years, when the $4,150 payments are made, the property is completely ours. So that right there are some of the advantages to this, that we will have equity, that we'll be losing all our rental payments. So not only the $4,150, but also we'll be saving money in that the additional $1,350 we're paying now for the Comcast part of the building will be gone. And that's a savings of about $9,500 every year.
19,000.
19,000.
19,000.
Yes. Another good thing is, as we all know, if we rent property, rental payments often go up over the years. These payments will not be going up because for 100 months it will still stay at $4,150. Also, as a school district, there are no school taxes, no property taxes that we'll have to pay, as we're tax exempt. So what it will mean is that we will be responsible for the property itself at that point, and we will have to continue to maintain it, as one would expect as an owner of a property, which we're not concerned about because the structural engineering showed us that it would very minor things that would have to be done. So the warning, which you will see in the paper, it is on our website. It's Tuesday, November 14th, so next week, next Tuesday, and the article says, shall the legal voters of the Maple Run Unified School District, number 57, approve the Board of Directors to purchase the real estate located at 24 to 34 Catherine Street, St. Albans, Vermont, which currently houses central office and early childhood programs for $415,000. Terms for repayment will be that MRUSD will make 100 monthly payments of $4,150. This will be a savings of $1,630 per month. There will be no interest and no down payment required. As for the informational meeting, Martha.
Mm-hmm. The informational meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 13th at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be held at the Bellows Free Academy St. Albans Library. The library is located in the old hospital, St. Albans Hospital building, which is off of Academy Drive. So again, that informational meeting for all of St. Albans City, St. Albans Town, and Fairfield residents, if they want to get more information and or ask questions, would be Monday, November 13th at 6 o'clock at the Bellows Free Academy Library in St. Albans.
And the polling places are the typical polling places we use. St. Albans City will be at City Hall from 7 to 7. St. Albans Town will be at Collins Purley, same time. And Fairfield will be at the Municipal Building in Fairfield, same time. We see this as a good deal. We're excited about it. Our board is excited about it. Some questions came up about why are we doing this now, not waiting until typical March town meeting time. And the board felt strongly we don't want to wait for this, because every month that we wait, we're losing money, both in increasing our equity in the building, as well as we're losing money relative to rent and the additional money that we're paying for early childhood. So it just made sense to move on this as fast as possible and make this happen. If anybody has questions, we're around. We want to answer them. Our number at the central office is 524-2600. There will be people there who can answer. You can talk to Martha, myself, our executive assistant, Brenda. We'll all be able to help you. If you want to see some of this information again, you can see it on our website. Our reports are on there. Additional information is on there. And finally, if anybody wants to come in and look at the building, give us a call, and we'll make it work for you. And please come out to vote on Tuesday. Martha, do you have anything to add?
I think we've pretty much covered it. The one piece I did want to throw back in there, going back over the presentation, is over the years, as we've occupied this space, we have made some renovations and some upgrades to the building. Those costs were costs that we bore at the time, and by purchasing the property, we are keeping our investment that we've already put into the building. So that's another plus that we wanted to add in there.
Good. Thank you, Martha, for all your help.
No problem.
And thank you for listening, and we hope you will come out and vote on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Good day.